at midterm. But this will depend on your academic setting. The different colleges have different times when they want to evaluate. And I know for us, our students aren't at Baptist for a very long time, so it's hard to have a midterm when they're only there, what, 3 or 4 days? 4? Yeah, it's kind of hard to do that. But different students are there at different times. Okay, they must know the expectations, and they have to have timely feedback. They have to know what they're doing wrong. The best time to tell a student is as quickly after the event has occurred, so they don't get confused about the time, especially if it fails to meet expectation. But y'all, they need to receive timely feedback if they're doing the right thing. You did a really good job on that. You really handled that well. They need that just as much as they need the negative, so that they'll know to continue that behavior. They need to be informed of the consequences, and again, they need to provide, we need to have opportunity for them to mediate. Okay? So if we've got to correct a student, that's hard. How many of you think that's going to be the hard part, telling a student they've done something wrong? Because we don't like for anybody to tell us we're doing. I mean, we want to know if we're doing something wrong so we can improve, but we not necessarily like to be told we're doing something wrong. So we do have to identify the inappropriate behavior. And as much as you can identify that behavior, the better. And sometimes it's hard because when you're talking about a gentle or caring manner, how do we describe that? We all know what it is, but how do we put it in terms for that student to understand what a gentle and caring manner is? Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's kind of, sometimes it's kind of hard to say. So I try to look at the tone, how much time they spent, their actual physical touch, like, did they go in and do the draw sheet like this, or did they, do the draw sheet like this? And I try to get into the exact behavior. But sometimes students are rude or disrespectful, and it's hard to exactly write those words. So I talk about tone, I talk about words chosen, I talk about their nonverbals, like if they're rolling their eyes, if they have a sarcastic tone, clenched teeth. I talk about all of that so they can know that. Unfortunately, I've had students like that. I know. But we do, and you may encounter them. But we're really telling them I know all of us are telling them they need to behave at a certain level. Again, focus on behavior, not on personality. Have you ever had to work with people you really don't like, but you actually can work together okay? You just know there's personality differences. Okay. And students have different personalities. Like I get along real well with type A students because I'm type A. Those that tend to be a little more on the minimalist side, want to only do the least amount possible to meet the expectation. I get a little frustrated with, and they get frustrated with me because they keep saying, you want me to be up here, why is it not okay to be here? And where is good enough? Seriously, where is good enough? Where is good enough if they're meeting the expectations? So we have to think about that in personalities. So keep feedback and evaluation non-judgmental language. Now students are horrible on this on our evaluations, trust me. But we don't get that opportunity, so it has to be non-judgmental. Again, it's all about behaviors. If you're just documenting behaviors, had difficulty pulling concepts together, didn't check lab, didn't check polls, spoke in non-respectful tone. But now when you're correcting them, you can't wait 2 weeks and then do it because you're not going to remember. So you've got as quickly as possible you will be able to do that. Assist the student in identifying the faulty thought process. Like the student that thought the patient dying of bone cancer, that constipation was their biggest issue. Okay, why did you think that? What made you think, well, they were on that pain medicine and you tell us that pain medicine causes constipation. Well, I do, but let's talk about prioritizing. Let's talk about what do you really see as. So those are the things that you want to identify their faulty thought process. Have you ever, I thought things wrong, and so our students will do that too. And again, allow them the opportunity to, as hard as it is, I need you to give them another opportunity to do the same thing they just messed up on. And pay attention and give them the opportunity to do that. Because they need that for their confidence, they need that for themselves, and they need that to grow. Okay, now, how do I know a student is not doing well? What are some classic signs that I can pay attention to? If you have a student that's not asking any questions, that frightens me. Why are they not asking questions? Do they think they know it all? They're so scared, they don't want to ask, they're afraid you're going to think bad of them. So a student that's not asking questions should be a red flag for you. There should be some questions that they have because they haven't been in that setting at that level before. So this should be a new level, new setting, and they should have some questions. Do they have an unenthusiastic attitude toward nursing? Have you ever had people like that? Nursing was a job. It's really hard when you think nursing's a calling. When you personally put so much of who you are into what you do and you consider it not a job. We do have students who will tell you, I'm doing this as a stepping stone, I have no desire to do this. And I love it when they tell me they don't like to deal with people. Okay, so what are you planning to do? Because nursing is so much about people. But they could go into research and they could be in a lab and they still have to deal with some people, but they don't have to deal with patients as much. Or I've had them say, well, I'm going to work in OR, so they're going to be asleep. And I don't have to deal with them. So, no, I'm serious. I know we're all going. We went into nursing because we like being around people. But there are different, yeah. I just want to work with the babies. That's true. That's right. That's right. So when they have an enthusiastic attitude, we need to know. Because, I mean, we've had students, are you sure this is really for you? Because you don't look like you're having very much fun. And you're expressing that to your patients. So if they're not enthusiastic, if they're not gung-ho, if they're not excited, then there's probably a problem. If they're demonstrating unsatisfactory skill levels. And look for patterns of repeated behavior. Everybody messes up, but do they keep messing up? Do they keep making the same mistake you tell them, and they cannot see that they're making the same mistake? Now, I'm not just talking about they don't start the IV right. I'm talking about they didn't check the orders on this patient. Then you turn around the next day and they still didn't check the orders, but in their mind that was a different patient, different time, and they don't see that that's still not checking the orders. So you want to look for repetitive patterns. Everybody messes up every now and then, but are they continuing to do the same thing? That now tells us we have a problem in that area. And sometimes I've had a student that every time we went to give medications, it was something. We were going to give Levinox, and I think the syringe had 80, she was supposed to give 60, and I asked her, what are we going to do about it? I wanted to see, can she critically think? And her exact words to me, a little more won't hurt them. I'm not kidding. I said, oh my. Then she saw my face, and she said, oh, well, I'll just give it to them to the 60, and then I'll squirt the rest out. So, I mean, we just weren't getting it. The next time, we didn't check the patients. I did. Then the next time, we didn't check the orders. Now, for her, she didn't think that was a repetitive pattern, but y'all, what was she continuously not doing correctly? Medication administration, the process of medication administration. So, I'm one of those people she talks about till she dies, I'm sure. Because she really never saw it. Never saw it. It was time to give medication through central line. Have to use a 10 cc syringe. She went, got a 3. Sent her back, said, no, that's not the correct one. And now, personally, I make them look me in the eye and tell me what size syringe they have to have while we're talking in orientation. Brought me back 5. We finally got to the 10. But what she told the dean was I didn't like her because she didn't bring me my favorite syringe. Yeah, she was serious. She was serious. Dr. Waters had a favorite syringe. She never got that she could have harmed the patient. So, do you see the pattern? Do you see the pattern? So, it didn't look like a... She chose to withdraw.
Oh, okay.
But she came back and she improved greatly after that, and actually she is functioning well as a nurse, as I understand. But we want to look for this. And y'all, sometimes people just need one more semester. They do. They do. Okay? And a double nose. Now, you need to write down what's going on. We need documentation. Y'all know that. Do I have to say the D word too many times to nurses? No. We need as much information as we can, because if a decision is made by the faculty that the student is unsafe to go forward, then we need your, because you were there, we need your notes in order to discuss this. Now, we're not going to call the student in and just flip these notes at them by any means. You will have already told the student there's a problem, and I need to call your instructor and we need to discuss what to do about that. That doesn't mean the student, again, that doesn't mean they're going to fail. We, again, look for patterns of behavior, not a one-time incident unless it's so serious. But you do need to include the student, the patient, pertinent elements, brief description of the care required, and then what the student did or didn't do. If you come in the room and they have not put the side rail up, that's significant to any faculty member. Safety is the number one thing. If they're in fourth semester and they can't remember to put up the side rail, we're real concerned. Doesn't mean they're going to fail, but it does mean we're going to make absolutely sure they have opportunities to perform safety. You know, if the patient falls out and breaks the hip, that's a whole different, might be a little different ballgame. What are the contextual variables? What was going on? Not only was the side rail down, but the patient had just been given pain medicine or just gotten back from surgery, or there was something else going on, or the family member found it, that kind of thing. Whatever else is going on, you just want to write what happened. You don't want to say the stupid student did. I can't believe they did this. Whatever, however else you want to put a value on it, we don't need to do that. We just need it, just like an incident report. It just needs, you don't have to fill out an incident report, but it just needs to be like an incident report. And you all are taught all that. That's not anything new for you, I